Pagitt Radio, broadcasting live out of the Twin Cities, Blog Talk Radio, and over at Ustream. You can get all that at DougPagitRadio.com. And if you were listening to us on Stitcher, which if you have a smarty phone, there's a little app called Stitcher. You can get this program as well as many others. You can take it on the road with you. You can listen to the archives. And, of course, you can listen live on the move. Oh, we're going to be joined by Gary Burge in his book, Jesus and the Jewish Festivals. It's going to be awesome. We're going to ask him about some Jesus stuff and some Jewishy festivals stuff. He's not a rabbi.
No.
But we have one we can double check all the stuff with, so it'll be safe. It'll be fine. Hey, if you want to give a phone call into the radio program, our phone number is 952-232-5260, which, as it turns out, spells a number of things. Here's a couple of choices. I like this one. Beajam 0. 952-Beajam 0.
There you go.
Beajam 0. Beajam 0. There's also B Allen 0.
B Allen?
B Allen, L-A-A, B Allen, A-L-A-N, spelled that way. B
Okay.
Allen 0. B-E-A-L-A-N 0. So for Alan Bachman, who I know is a listener of the program, it'd be perfect for him. He should use that. I should sell him this number.
It could.
B Allen 0. Yeah, you want to have B Allen number 1 or something. And you can what else was there? Oh, B Clam 0. B Clam. Oh, I like that one. And Adajam. How about Adajam? Would it be better to
At or ad?
Ad. A-D-A-J-A-M.
I like be a jam.
Beajam. All right, so give us a call over here at Beajam 0. B-E-A-J-A-M 0. 952-Beajam 0. And you can chat on the phone. Speaking of fantastic things, as we were talking about earlier, this Mars rover deal. I mean, I've been down on the country's non-support of NASA.
Yeah.
Well, they should have told us this was coming. Friggin' awesome. I mean, that's probably better than people in space. I mean, it's pretty cool that the people are living in the space station right now and can listen to this program, which we know they are. So thanks all for your service. But that thing, I mean, shooting a buggy to Mars and landing it, and driving it around.
I think the odds were so great that this thing was going to be a dismal failure.
Yeah,
they just totally downplayed it.
Oh, like a year ago or 2 years ago, they were like, let's not put our chips all over on Black 7 quite yet.
Because I mean, first of all, you got to get that rocket up in the air, okay, which we've had problems with. With
step one.
Yeah, satellites.
Love your neighbor. I can't really pull that
blowing
one
up on in space or whatever. And then this thing has got to pierce the atmosphere.
Unbelievable.
But they're not.
And it's like flying in 5 or 6 sections. They're going to be coming apart and doing all these different
12,000 or 1,200 miles per hour is as it's. And so then it shoots off this other little part of it that shoots.
We don't want to be overly technical, but it shoots off a little part of it.
First, there's the parachute.
Yeah.
And then another little device ejects from it.
Yes.
And has rockets.
And I saw they have a rendition of this, and I have it on the Facebook page, and it's unbelievable. Like you said,
it slows it down from 1,200 to 300 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it comes to this slow landing.
And it hovers, and then. But that's not it.
Like everything I want, this Mars rover has.
It's a little hovercraft up there.
I know it.
And then they're like, okay, let go of the hoist.
Yeah.
And it's a sky crane.
No, it's a sky crane, and then it turns into a buggy.
And it gently lands it on the soil and
starts driving around on Mars.
I think the odds of all of that coming together were so dismal. They're like, look, let's just downplay this because this is not going to work.
And as people are prone to do, it has now just raised my expectations about how the world's supposed to go. Because I've been saying for a long time, like, we got people living in the space station. We can most certainly solve this problem, right? We've got people living, almost out of the atmosphere for months at a time. Now, we landed a rover, we landed a buggy on Mars, and we're looking at video from Mars, and I can't get the Ustream feed to work. Seriously, I've got to find a charger at the airport for my iPhone battery.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were mentioning earlier, they've got a nuclear battery on the thing. They've got a nuclear power plant. We shot a nuclear power to Mars
that's going to drive an electric car around for 2 years, but yet
That's right. I gotta stop for gas every 200 miles. Sitting around and get crap all over my hands. It smells horrible. It's really raised the expectations.
I want a nuclear battery.
Totally, I want a nuclear battery. A nuclear battery, and I want a jetpack. I mean, there's just been some things that since the Jetsons I've been watching since like 1972 that they just did on Mars, and the rest of us are rolling around like a bunch of Neanderthals.
That's right.
Sitting in traffic, and this is nonsense. When was that stuff spell? I'm working hard. I deserve that.
Hey,
see, I had a long day at work. I deserve a jetpack.
Where's my damn jetpack?
I deserve a buggy that can fly and land and have a parachute on it.
And I want a pill that tastes like a Thanksgiving dinner.
I honestly, I used to think I was asking for too much.
Well, but apparently it's available.
Yes. Now, granted, it costs $2 billion. But that's just prototype. I mean, they're gonna knock the price. That's like a flat screen TV.
Sure.
Those things used to cost you a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can pick them up at Sam's Club.
Right.
So I look forward to the day within my lifetime, and they got to hurry.
Right.
When
you get your own rocket-powered sky crane.
Yeah. From Costco or something like it. NASCO.
Gonna pluck you out of a traffic jam and put you where you want.
It's fantastic, and I just hope that what it does is it inspires people to appreciate the nerddom, the total nerds that made this stuff happen. These scientists, mathematicians, engineers, dreamers. Like this was not done.
Talk about some dreaming. How about them SpaceX people? They docked a civilian thing on the space station. Right.
They're like, hey, government, if you don't want to fly supplies to the people living on the space station, how about if we make a little business out of it?
Which here's the thing. Here's the great thing, because I remember like when the whole shuttle program was being disassembled. They're like, well, this is going to be how we're going to transport people up into space.
Right.
And they basically went back to the space capsule model.
Yeah.
That just looked like a Gemini space capsule kind of blown up to. I'm like, that is not going to capture. I've been there, done that. I don't want a space capsule. Okay, I don't want that. I want something with wings, and it's got to have chrome on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want a joystick. That's going to be. So then, what they've done is they've kind of canceled that, and that's where they've turned over the space program. That next generation to SpaceX, Boeing, and a couple of other.
Yes.
Now they're gonna take that over.
And they've said, why don't you guys start thinking about,
right,
how we take this to the next place. Let's get more thinking involved, more imagination. And that's what I found great about this rover deal, and as well as the SpaceX thing, is not just the technology and the knowledge and all of that went into it, which is impressive, and got it. It's a big deal. But this whole notion that they conceived of it, and like we were mentioning earlier, the idea that someone's sitting in the whiteboard meeting and they're like, okay, what if we put jets on it though? Then after the parachute drop, the jets fire, and some clown's got to be sitting in the room like, well, you can't always trust those jets. Like all the things they had to overcome of reasonable people telling them it wasn't possible. It's really fascinating. I'm glad
I wasn't in the boardroom, because I would have been like, look, there's no way this is going to work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And for some, it fits into a whole narrative of what seems to be going on. Kind of the Olympics are sort of a part of this, and for me, this rover thing, and I've gotten into this ultra running and all this. It's this same narrative that the limits to what we can accomplish are so greatly influenced by our expectations of what's possible. So if you're told, that nobody can break that record, nobody can run that fast, nobody can run under a 4 minute, nobody can win that number of things, then you're going to play within the rules of what's possible. Where imagination makes you say, well, the logic that got us into this situation is probably not the way out of it. It's the limitations of it. And these people saying, no, we can do this. This is possible. And if it doesn't work this time, we'll just try it again the next time. Like that kind of creative, imaginative sense of possibility. That's great.
All young people too in that Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
They were, they were young. And then I saw just this one video, and they were painting, and they were all sort of, kind of classic engineer looking. And then there was this one young, cute girl. Did you see that footage? Like, what is she doing? Right. She got a little headset on. Like, she doesn't look anything like the rest of these cats in here. I find that just to be. That's inspiring, right? This whole sense of possibility, this sense that yes, you can. And I know that starts to sound like a campaign slogan and all the rest of it. But I think the reason that worked is because it tapped into this reality that people have, that you do want that kind of possibility, that you want that future-leaning sense that what we've been able to accomplish is just what we've gotten to at this point. And it's amazing. And it'd be great to talk to some of these engineers about, in their field, how much pressure there was to pull them back from that possibility.
Oh, right. Yeah. To go back to the status quo, you mean?
Yeah. Or to stay within the limits of what was acceptable. Because you have to be a little crazy to try to pull that off. Something's got to not be quite right.
Right.
There's got to be a not quite right attitude that goes on there. Coming to you from Not Quite Right Religious Radio, Doug Pagitt Radio on Blog Talk Radio and Ustream. We think it's fantastic. Hey, after a little musical interlude, we're going to be joined by Gary Burge. He's written a book called Jesus and the Jewish Festivals. I'm going to ask him about this transition, about like how important it is that we know the context and the history. But what about imagination in the future? What's the interplay of these things? So here's a little number that I like. That when I was thinking about the rover and all this, this little number came to mind, and maybe you'll like it. So we'll talk with you here back at Doug Pagitt Radio after the break.